Oh, hello, and welcome to today's Decay, where we celebrate births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. Today is February 23rd, and it's full of all sorts of good things to suggest you do in the last couple of fleeting moments of February 23rd. I really will try to do these earlier. I feel like I keep waiting to the very last minute, and that's not right because that defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it? Unless you're in points west from here, where you still have many hours to go until the end of your night. So for you, okay. Everybody else, you got to pass. On this day in 1904, Terence Fisher was born. Uh, Not just a horror filmmaker, but mostly a horror filmmaker who really hit his stride and made many classics with Hammer films for Horror of Dracula, Curse of Frankenstein, um, Curse the Werewolf, right? Um, the Mummy, all the classic early Hammer horror films. Terence Fisher is responsible for. There was a team of people involved with early Hammer, but he was definitely all over all this stuff. Also on this day, 1935, the Phantom Empire first premiered. That was a um, science fiction western serial that it'd be like 20-minute installments every week for I guess 12 weeks or something like that. Was it 12, 18? I forget. Some of the serials are 12, some of them are 18. Anyway, it stars Gene Autry. It was his first real big rocket to stardom. Not that there was rockets involved, but the story is that Gene Autry, who's a singing cowboy, has a ranch called Radio Ranch that he's allowed a whole bunch of homeless kids to live on. And it turns out that there's a cave on his property on Radio Ranch that leads you to Lemuria, which is like a ancient sunken city, maybe predating Atlantis. I don't know. I mean, it does in the Edgar Casey prophecies, but in the Gene Autry prophecies, I don't know about that. Anyway, so he's got this deal going where if he doesn't sing on the radio every day at whatever time, then he loses the ranch and all these kids get evicted and get thrown out on the street, and he can't let that happen. But he gets wrapped up in all these crazy adventures in like the center of the earth or wherever this hollowed lost city is, Lemuria, which has like these like giant like metal riveted robots, like Flash Gordon looking robots. That was very influential for me and Phantom Creep Theater. The Gene Autry Museum in Los Angeles in Griffith Park has one of the original giant robot costumes from the serial. So it's like this, fake metal looking giant costume with like riveted on a riveted on cowboy hat. It's really phenomenal. Anyway, so it's frustrating life as it is at the moment. I don't have my fleet of giant robots with me, but they are in storage at Daniela's house. I was hoping they could make an appearance today, but no such luck. Anyway, so I've been to the Gene Autry Museum, and I've got here his cowboy code. I thought you might like to hear it. See, cowboy code that Gene Autry came up with. It's 1 through 10 if you're following along at home. Number 1, the cowboy must never shoot first, hit a smaller man, or take unfair advantage. Number 2, he must never go back on his word or trust confided in him. Number 3, he must always tell the truth. Number 4, he must be gentle with children, the elderly, and animals. Number 5, he must not advocate or possess racially or religiously intolerant ideas. Number 6, he must help people in distress. Number 7, he must be a good worker. Number 8, he must keep himself clean in thought, speech, action, and personal habits. Number 9, he must respect women, parents, and his nation's laws. Number 10, the cowboy is a patriot. So, most of those things I feel like, I can still be aligned with today, right? I'd say, yeah. Gene Autry isn't the first Hollywood cowboy. You've got Tom Mix before him, who was kind of the guy that like popularized the like big white hat and the kind of like goofy cowboy aesthetic, I guess. Before even that, you've got William S. Hart, who's one of my favorites, who's really raw and brutal and like unflinching and is really good. Um, and then obviously after that, you've got the Clint Eastwood type characters, but of the earlier ones, Gene Autry, Tom Mix, William S. Hart. So not my favorite, but I do love the thought here, and this is all like from the time from the 30s, although not this actual card. I took a whole bunch of them when I was at the Gene Autry Museum, and I've given them out to like various friends over the years. I only have a couple left. Anyway, what else? On this day, 1965, Dr. Terror's House of Horrors premiered. Not a Hammer film, a Amicus film, but features all sorts of Hammer-type players. Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, really great anthology horror that you could watch tonight on the very day it premiered. Or any of the wonderful Hammer horrors out there that Terrence Fisher was involved with, or maybe just episode 1 of The Phantom Empire. Don't be swayed by the connection or the nod from Star Wars. Phantom Empire from 1935 is where it's at. Is that where you're at tonight? February 23rd, 1935? I don't know. Tune in. Find out. And tune in tomorrow for more. Goodbye.